Hi, good morning. This is my daughter, and
Hello.
last night I had a dream or a vision, more or less, from the Lord, and I just feel like I should share it because I do think that we are in the last days before the rapture. And last week I spent a lot of the time praying for the Lord to give me a dream or a vision about what's to happen when that day comes. And he answered my prayer with this vision. And so it started off as me and my daughter and a couple of my friends were at McDonald's back in my hometown. And I ordered my hamburger, and it ended up being halfway eaten, and so I went back to the counter and returned the hamburger to see if I could get a new one. And the cook came out from behind there and was yelling and screaming at me that the food was good, the food was fine, until I showed him that that it was halfway eaten. And the manager came out and was like apologizing for the cook yelling at me. And all of a sudden, her and all the employees started showering me with all these gifts, all these things of the world, and flowers and roses in a vase, and stuffed animals. And they gave me like all these tickets like to win prizes. And they gave me $100 gift card for McDonald's or for Walmart. And it was just, I just thought, I was like, wow, thanks. I was a pretty embarrassed because like people were just like watching me receive all the being showered in all these gifts and stuff. Um and then after that, the cook came back out and gave me another sandwich. And all the employees walked away, and I was about to eat my sandwich, but I noticed something was wrong with that one too. And I was already worried that the cook was, gonna do something to my food for complaining about it and the way he had reacted before. So I took the bun off the sandwich and noticed that the meat looked like it looked off. And so I like tore the meat open, and there was literally like a brown sweater cooked into the meat. And so I took the hamburger back to the counter again, and I just asked the lady if we could have our money back. And I gave her the receipt and everything. And that was when all the employees started yelling at us and refused to give us our money back. And okay. And so then me and my friends and my daughter, and she had a little friend with her, we were running because that the hometown that I used to live in, me and my daughter have experienced massive spiritual warfare in that area. We lived in an apartment where we lived right underneath a woman who clearly practiced witchcraft.
It was really scary.
Our apartment was haunted by
the
evil
door. The
spirits.
door was budged open, and we had two cats. Someone stole our the precious little kitten named Gracie. So
Okay, but that wasn't part of our dream. But
no,
these are just experiences that have
it was
happened
scary.
living in that part of town,
Yeah.
in my old apartment
Yeah.
complex.
So we
And
try to
so
avoid that place when we're in town.
yeah, we do now when we go visit. But anyway, so back to my dream. So we left the McDonald's and we started running past this other apartment complex, which is, nothing against low income apartments. I live in low income apartments now, but the ones that are there in town is it's pretty it's pretty awful there. I feel that our government has made it so, that basically that area has just kind of become a cesspool of drugs and crime. And the government doesn't really do anything about it, and it's been like that for my whole life. Anyways, so we run past that apartment complex, and the little friend that was with my daughter, we were passing her apartment, and her dad runs out and grabs her. I feel like definitely in the sky seemed, it was like sunset, but it was gray, and there was a definite chaos going on around in the town. I feel like we were running because we were trying to avoid not only the people at McDonald's yelling at us, but we were avoiding people just in the streets screaming at us, yelling at us. It was like, it just felt like everywhere we turned, there was somebody screaming hateful things at us, and we were about to come up to, we were about to run past the 7-Eleven, where in real life we did have an experience where, again, the worker was screaming at me and my daughter in the middle of the summer, and we were just trying to get a cup of ice that day, and he kicked us out because I was 19 cents short of buying a cup of ice. And Orion, just no. Let me finish because I don't have that much time left. And so
it's not timed.
Yes, it is. And so we were about, in my dream, we were about to run past that 7-Eleven, and my Orion's little friend's dad said, okay, do you need a ride? And we're like, oh my gosh, yes, because we still have to keep going all the way to the other end of town. And just, there's really something eerie about living in Richland, Washington, and it's the outskirts of a nuclear power plant. So I feel like there's just a lot of evil things going on in that town. And in my dream, it really shone through. And so we go into her friend's apartment, and her family is sitting in their living room, all on the floor. And Orion went to the restroom, and she ended up falling asleep in the restroom. And so I was worried for her, and I went back to the restroom to look for her, and which, from my own experience in the past, when there's an evil spirit around and it comes near you or tries to attach itself to you, you fall asleep. Even if you're wide awake, it will make you fall asleep. So I think that might have been what happened to my daughter in the dream. It's kind of the feeling I get when I wake up to think about it. So I go and grab her, and then we go to the living room, and we're sitting there on the ground with her friend's family. And then she ended up having like a stepmom who wasn't her real mom, sitting in this big throne, and there was a cauldron next to her, and like it was like flaming, like a purple flame. And then it was almost like there was on one side of her, and on the other side of her, it was like a picture hanging on the wall, but it was like that magic mirror from Snow White in the Seven Dwarfs, where the face comes on the mirror. And I'm just remembering that. And so that was on the other side of her. And then they had a television, and it was, at first I heard them saying something about the Lord, and I was like, oh good, they're praying, because that was what I wanted to do. And then me and my daughter go and sit down with them, and we realized that they were praying to some other god, some false god that was either a different religion. I feel like they were there was some Indian words. My dad is Indian, and I don't know if it was Tamil. The word Hindi is coming clear in my mind, and so they were like praying and chanting in Hindi, I want to say. And then all of a sudden, it was like, it felt almost like they were about to kill us, and me and Orion like laid back and on the ground, and then all of a sudden we just shot. Like, we were laying back, but we were being shot backwards, but I guess it would be upwards since that's where our heads were. We were being shot up. And then before I knew it, we were going up and up and up and up. And I could only either look ahead of me or above me where Orion was in my dream. And I have these, I don't know if you could see these twinkle lights, but when I'm laying down in bed, I can see those lights, and I know that like my eyes were kind of open. So this is why I feel like it was a vision, but my eyes were kind of open during this dream, and I could see those lights. But in my dream, it looked like a beautiful galaxy, and I look up and I see Orion, and she's like we're like just floating in space, and she's laying there like in fetal position, like she's like in a womb or something, and she's just laying there, and little parts of her skin, it almost looked like she was burning, like she was just like little parts of her skin were burning, but she wasn't in pain. She was just like literally like a baby in a womb, just so comforted and just laying there looking at me. And her skin, where it was burning, it wasn't fire coming through, it was just like a bright light. And I feel like that was her body, her body being removed from her spirit as we were on our way into space, to get to heaven with the Lord. And that was the end of my dream. And I just think that it's such a miracle. I feel like it's urgent that I shared this. I literally just woke up. We literally just sat up. I told her about my dream, and then we record
happy crying.
Yeah, we started happy crying, and then we got her tablet.
We just woke up.
And got her tablet and started recording this. So I just want to say God bless you all, and just know that the Lord Jesus Christ is real, and he is coming very, very soon. He is coming very soon. He answered my prayer. But have a beautiful and blessed